What causes sciatica? Well, first off, what is sciatica? All right, it's where some of the nerves that branch out the lumbar spine and they run down through the hip region down into both legs get inflamed, irritated, and you start to have nerve symptoms like numbness, tingling, burning, shooting pains. And it's a very, very common injury. It's a very common thing that I used to see a lot of in the PT clinic. Now, what are some causes of sciatica and why do I even want to discuss this with you guys? Well, when it comes to any injury, you always want to try and narrow down what is causing it. Because if you don't, then you're probably going to keep addressing and treating all these other things, but you're never going to get feeling better unless you address and treat the true cause of the pain. So I want to share with you 3 common causes of sciatica because there are some things that you can do if you have sciatica to treat the actual cause of it, right? And that is going to bring you more success, help you feel better quicker than treating everything else, okay? One common cause of sciatica is just age-related issues. As we all age, our spine begins to degenerate. We develop degenerative disc disease, degenerative joint disease, different arthritis issues in the spine. So the sciatic nerve, it stems from nerves that come out the lumbar spine, L1 through 5. So as we age and that spine is degenerating, it can start to wear down and put more pressure or compression on those nerves, exacerbating the sciatica symptoms. So age-related degenerative changes can cause sciatica. Now, this is probably the one cause that you can't do a whole lot about. You can't reverse your age, but you can do your best to stay as healthy as possible. So what you can do is try and stay strong and healthy as long as possible. Stick to a regular mobility program and a regular strengthening program so that you keep your spine mobile and also strong and stabilized to do your best to prevent those normal age-related changes, all right? Another common cause, number 2, of sciatica is your occupation. What sort of work do you do? And are the repetitive movements that you're doing day in and day out causing the sciatica? If you're someone who's doing a lot of lifting, especially a lot of heavy lifting with twisting, that right there is a very common cause of lumbar spine and sciatic issues. So what can you do? Well, can you change occupations? But if not, how can you modify what you're doing at work each day? Instead of letting a lot of the rotation come from your spine, you can turn your body more. So here's an example. If you're regularly lifting and then unloading something like that, all the rotation is coming from my lumbar spine. But instead, you could modify, you could lift, turn your feet, and put down. And you can learn to squat and deadlift with proper form, maintaining a neutral spine, engaging the abs, so that every time you're doing this heavy lifting, heavy labor at work, you're doing it with great form to really support the spine instead of injuring the spine and causing more and more issues, pinching on the nerve and such. So if the cause of your sciatica could be related to your job, then maybe get an assessment done. Talk to your boss, see if they can do an ergonomic assessment, train you on how to do your job better with putting less stress on your spine, okay? And the third most common cause of sciatica is sitting long periods of time. This also kind of relates to occupation, but are you someone that either based on your job or your hobby, you tend to be sitting for a long period of time, especially on a really hard surface that isn't cushioned and it isn't like an ergonomic chair? That right there is just putting constant pressure right through the region where that sciatic nerve runs. And it's especially common in men who tend to carry their wallet in their back pocket. That's just more pressure pushing on that nerve, not giving it the room to breathe, right? So if you're sitting for a long period of time, whether it be for work or let's say you fly a lot for work, so you're on a plane all the time, it's time to modify what you're doing when you're sitting. Number 1, try and take rest breaks. Get up and walk around every hour. Set an alarm on your phone. Hey, it's my time to get up and move around, get moving, maybe do some stretches, some mobility work before you sit back down and continue working. Or if you're on the plane, same thing. Get up and walk around every so often. That's totally allowed. And number 2, modify what chair you're using. The chair needs to be ergonomically fit for you and your height and your body type, and it needs to support you keeping a normal neutral spine while you're sitting. So I want to show you guys a quick fix using a lumbar roll that will help you maintain more of a neutral spine, so you're not putting constant pressure on those nerves in the lumbar spine, causing more and more sciatic symptoms. So how should you be sitting? Number 1, you should have about a 90-degree bend at the legs, right? The feet should be about hip distance apart. If your chair is too short, it's going to put a lot more pressure on the hips, pushing on that nerve. So you want a good 90-degree here. Then when it comes to the lower back, a lot of us slouch like this, which is no bueno. So really, using something like a lumbar roll can help many of us improve our sitting posture throughout the day. All right, so I just used a rolled up towel. You can buy a lumbar roll online that's specifically made for this, or you can just roll up a towel, something small, place it right in the lower back region at the arch there where you have that normal natural curve in the lower back. And then, voila, that's it. It makes it much easier to maintain a neutral spine throughout the day, and it doesn't allow you to slouch as much because it's keeping this normal curvature here. So, we've now talked about the 3 common causes of sciatica. If you experience sciatica, treat the cause. Modify, adjust what's causing your sciatic pain, and I'm sure that's going to help a whole lot, in addition to some physical therapy related exercises and treatment.